Good day, Themasians. Welcome to another episode of VExclusives, where views, issues, and profiles are featured. After delays due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2021 Tokyo Olympics is now set. Joining us in this episode is one of the Filipino qualifiers for the Games, UST alumnus EJ Obiena. Good day, EJ. Welcome to VExclusives.
Hi, thank you for having me.
First of all, how are your preparations for the Olympics so far?
Um, it's going. So far, I think I'm on the right track and how I want to be at a certain time, like today. So I'll say I'm in a good shape. Preparations are going well. Things are still a lot of things. That I need to do, but we're inching our way to the Olympics. So I'm I'm good, basically.
All right. How is your training different from your usual routine?
Not much different, to be honest. I go in day out with the same goal. The past few years, I've been training the same way I approach the game. It's just maybe a little bit more, how do you say, motivation, because Olympics is the biggest stage. I want to do good,
Mhm.
and maybe those little things will probably be the only difference per se.
All right. Have you faced any challenges with regards to your training?
Um, I think that depends on how you say challenge. It's a lot of different kind of things. There's like the pandemic happening. Of course, there's like I'm not really in my home country. I'm training outside
Mhm.
the Philippines. Like I still don't have my my post I actually need at the moment for
Mhm.
the certain period. There are things that of course didn't pan out. There are things that I could say challenges, or maybe I would think of it more of a part of the game right now. It's not something that it's a challenge definitely, but it's kind of part of what I signed up to.
Mhm. All right. What's the biggest thing you realized this during your training?
I can compete with the best of the best. Like I'm part of that group, and I deserve to be here, and I'm performing at the high level, and I believe in myself that I could accomplish what I have set, or what I have set my goal to.
There have been athletes who voiced out about the supposed lack of support coming from the Philippine government. From your own perspective, do you think the government has provided enough support?
Um, Let me change that kind of perspective. I think it's a matter of if the government have given you support, then that's a simple answer. It's a yes. Is it enough? If it could be more, that's a totally different aspect. But when you come to put at it, it's the fact that Philippines is not a rich country, and I think that means as an athlete, you need to understand that, and you need to be able to know that this is the situation that you're dealt with, which includes
Mm-hmm.
you looking for sponsors, looking for private sectors that can help you. So that's how I see it. I don't see it as the government supporting the athletes enough. It's more, are they supporting on what they are capable of? It's an answer. It's
Mm-hmm.
a yes. They do. Is it um, what every other country is giving? No. But does that mean that um, they're not trying to do something for the athletes? That's a no. It's totally complicated topic to discuss, I would believe
Mm-hmm.
so. But as an athlete and as a Filipino citizen who, I'll say, respect the community, respect the Filipino taxpayer, especially at this
Mm-hmm.
time, I would just say I don't want to ask for more. I just want to be able to do the minimum to be able to perform at my best. And if that means asking for the government, yeah. If it's mean coming from the private sectors, I'm open to all of it. As long as I be able to do my job come Olympic Day.
Wow. Okay. You have mentioned sponsors now. Do you have sponsors from UST or backers?
Um, Sadly, I haven't had anyone from USC come to me. Really hoping that that would be some case. I'm really knocking on your kind hearts right now. If anyone's listening, of course, and that would be awesome if I could get some support. That would always be appreciated. I have a bunch of private sectors as well that are supporting me, and some private corporations that are helping me out in this journey. And of course, that includes PSC as well, which is the government governing body, PATAFA, my federation. Yeah, I could use all the help that I can get.
Wow. Okay. Um. All right. How did the delay in the Tokyo Olympics date affect your training and conditioning? What were the adjustments you made to overcome these?
Oh, I've been asked about this a lot of times. Like it's mostly, of course, it was a delay. It's a year more of isolation. It's a year more that I need to train. Yeah, but I think I used that time to be stronger, faster, better, and better athlete overall. Of course, it wasn't like that when it hits. Of course, there's like difficulties. There's a lot of things that could have been, would have. That, to be honest, right now I don't know. But I'm happy on how I used the time that I was given, and I'm in a better. I believe I have a better chance if Olympics were to happen in 2020 or it is to happen 2021. So,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I use this unforeseen event to my advantage.
That's nice. All right. Amid the recent surge of COVID-19 cases, there has been news that the Olympics should be postponed again for safety reasons. What's your take on this?
Um, I can't really say my piece, but in my opinion, it will be a bit of a. Of course, it will always be sad to see Olympics be postponed yet again. I think this has rarely happened in the history of Olympics. So I would fully accept and understand why it's a must, why it must be done, and I see
Mhm.
that. But I'm in no position to say what is better to do. And my not my motivation, the way I see it as an athlete, my job is to be better each day I go to training. So that's what I try to focus on. That's what I try to put my headspace on, just to not think about if it's gonna get postponed or not. To not get me affected by it.
Mhm. All right. What about vaccination for Olympic athletes? What is your say on that?
Oh, big questions. I say on vaccination, I think everybody should get it. Of course, you need to do your own, not your own, but I mean by your own doctors. Listen to what the what your medical professionals are advising you to take. For me, at
Mhm.
the moment, it's a bit too late for me to take the vaccine because I'm leaving in a less than a month, less than a month time. I haven't even got my first dose, which means I would not be able to complete it. Sadly, it's how the availability of the vaccine for me is. Therefore, I
Mhm.
postponed my vaccination after Olympic Games to therefore have time to adapt to it in whichever it affects my body and my performance.
All right. This year, you have been in headlines for breaking multiple records in Philippine pole vaulting, no? And there was one competition where you defeated Thiago Braz, an Olympic gold medalist. To what or to whom do you attribute your recent success, and what has been special about you this year?
This is a very boring answer, but there's nothing really been special for me this year. I just, I just work, I just train, and I think it was just not the wins that I get. All of this are not just because of me. This is because of the team that I work with, coach, my physio, my psychologist, my nutritionist, everyone who has given their time to put me in this position where I can actually have a good fighting chance and win this meets. And yeah, there's not really much of a new thing, you know. It's the same old scenario, it's the same old goal. It's it's just, as you said, Olympics has been postponed, so my mindset is just a year postponed too.
All right. Since your college years, how much do you think you have grown as a pole vaulter?
Definitely as an athlete, I've grown a lot. Yeah, but as a person as well, I believe, um, doing sports in the varsity team is definitely once in a lifetime opportunity. But then at the same time, there are still baby steps, that comparing to
Mm-hmm.
how I see the sport, how I see life itself. It's a bit of a different perspective that's given me. It's like um, it's like high school to university. In high school you thought you know a lot, and in university you're just like, whoa, this is a lot of things going on. It's the same thing being a varsity athlete and going to, aiming for Olympics. It's the same kind of thing. You grow as a person, you grow as an athlete, you grow as an individual.
All right, that's nice. You had an ACL injury, no, before,
Mhm.
but you were still able to make a comeback in athletics. Can you narrate your experience while rehabbing, and what advice can you give to other athletes who underwent the same experience as you?
Um, Getting injured as an athlete, especially when you're competing or you're the favorite to the event, I think it's a heartbreaking thing. And always when you get injured, you never know if you're gonna be able to come back from it. You never know if you're gonna be the same as an athlete. I just know that if you come back from it, you're definitely gonna be a different kind of athlete. Not necessarily mean you're a worse or physically how do you say, physically less per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like that, and I think it makes you stronger. This is like a cliche, but it's a fact that when you get through these difficult times, it makes you a better athlete. It makes you a better person. And then I believe the ACL injury for me was a defining moment. It gave me uh, a view of how brutal sports can be and how I actually love the thing that I do and how I kind of understand that going back, or if I during that time, if I'm able, or if I'm given a chance to be able to perform again, to be able to run, to be able to jump, I'll cherish every moment of it and I'll do whatever I can. And knowing that I gave myself a timeline and I said, if I don't qualify for Tokyo, I'll accept the odds that I've been dealt with and I'll walk away from the sport knowing I did everything that I can.
All right. For our last question, EJ, you were once part of the UST Tracksters, no? What have you learned during your college days, and what advice would you give to your juniors who also aim to be where you are now?
Um, it's just a lot of hard work. I've seen athletes in USD work really hard, and totally aspiring athletes, there's more to just, the glory. The people
Mhm.
see all the wins, the records, the good stuff, but it's all at the back of that are all hard work, tears, sweat, blood, like all that sacrifices that each and everyone needs to do to achieve
Mhm.
something exceptional. So you take it as that. It's not very inspirational, but it's the fact of sports and it's the fact of life, I believe.
All right, there you have it, Themasians. Let's all wish EJ Obiena the best this upcoming Olympics. Thank you, EJ. and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
This has been VExclusives. For more news and updates, follow the Varsitarian on Facebook and Twitter. This has been Christine Joyce Paras for VExclusives.